Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next session of Tam's story. Now, where we left off, you had just learned about the Soul Singer, a unique rapier. However, you've also just completed your second free agency, and so your studies with Tally in the Bard class are going to continue. And if it's all right with you, I'd like to perform a little bit of a time skip.
Sure. I will. Can I ask though? We can do the time skip, but is Tam still allowed to work during the time skip? Or are we saying that
Yeah, you can
he
still
wasn't
work.
able to? Okay, rad. 'Cause he's gonna be saving that money.
Yes. We'll say you were only time skipping about a week and a half.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's going to be about 8 days of work worth. So why don't you roll me three. Let's say 3 wisdom plus proficiency checks.
Okay, wisdom, not performance.
Not performance, no.
Okay,
Not for this case.
wisdom. Okay, wisdom plus proficiency. Do I have anything? I do. I'm gonna just roll insight because that's basically the same thing.
That'll do.
That's wisdom plus proficiency. Ooh, 22.
Okay.
And not that 6.
All right.
Ooh, and a natural 20.
Okay. Over the next week and a half, firstly, your studies go relatively well. You focus well and you do pick up on a lot of the nuances that are the method of minstrelling that Tally finds the most effective. Now, roll me 3 performance checks.
Oh, I got you. We were doing. Yep, I gotcha. Okay. Let's see. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's less good. But okay.
It'll do. All right. Over the 8 days of work that we are kind of jumping over, you earn yourself about 110 gold pieces.
Amazing.
With that 23 and that 22, you prove yourself to be extremely helpful to Zurich and Annika as they perform their work, and they are able to get a good pace going as they handle their customers. And also, Annika enlists some of your performances into her creations.
Ooh.
And as you are
Can I,
handsomely paid, yeah?
can I ask one more thing? I think Tam, because he has such a. He's so used to divine healing, would it be like fair to ask if he kind of like wants to study, just kind of like maybe learn a little bit from how the medical tools work and how like medicine kits and stuff work?
Okay. So, sure. Go ahead and roll me a. Well, it's going to be. You're paying attention basically to something that you've never really seen before.
Yes.
So give me a perception check.
Okay. Not no strength.
No. And the next roll's not going to be your strength either. I need a straight intelligence roll.
Yeah. It's not. It's not awful.
No, it's not awful. 13. All right. So, Zurich Silver, the Physiker, handles things in ways you've never seen clerics do before. Sterilization and cleanliness are absolutely vital in the Physikery. You are made to wash your hands constantly, and your shoes are not allowed to be on your feet whilst you're within the Physikery.
Mm.
As that is happening, every patient that comes in, the ones that have an injury, which Zurich never charges them for if they have an emergent problem, he tends to them, and when he does so, it's not as a cleric would. As a cleric, you know they would generally cleanse and heal the injury with spells such as Cure Wounds, prayer of healing, these sorts of things. Zurich, sometimes the treatment's a little rough, as maybe bones broken and they require to be reset, things like that. But there is no magic occurring here. And as you're watching, he stitches wounds shut with thread and needle. He patches up injuries with grafts and poultices that seem to seal the flesh back together. He uses mechanisms that cleanse and remend injuries that magic just doesn't do. And through watching Zurich and Annika work, you maybe gain a respect for the healing that a mortal body can do on its own with the aid of the right equipment.
I'm into it. I think he's just a curious person, and this is a new thing for him, and I think because it's adjacent to something that he already knows, he would be really fascinated by it.
Would Tam be asking questions of Zurich while this is happening?
1000% it would be annoying.
Well, Zurich is a remarkably patient person. I don't think Tam would actually manage to annoy Zurich, but what Tam would get is a bit of a history lesson. Basically, that during the War of the Dead, there was no divine magics. It just wasn't a thing anybody could do. The gods were not around. And the only way to heal, aside from having natural magic at the hands of a druid, was a physiker would stitch and heal through the mechanisms that Zurich was displaying right in front of you. It's almost like an archaic form of healing, but is technologically far more advanced than magical healing ever could be.
Amazing.
So you would learn that, and you would also you gain advantage on history checks in reference to physickery.
Ooh, nice.
So, is there anything else during this week and a half that you'd like to do before we hop into what happens on the 8th day?
I think he would. I think there is one thing. I think he would send a letter, and this is something that he would be hemming and hawing on for a while. But he would eventually send a letter to his sister, and like I think, and it would be a letter. I would like to voluntarily roll a deception check on this letter because it's like short for him, and he's not telling her anything. He's not being specific because he's trying to sort of like hide the fact that he's enrolled as a bard.
Yeah. Okay, so you stroll on down to the local post and parcel, which is what they call the post office here. And the first thing you notice is the post and parcel it almost looks like a roostery. As you enter, there's a wide counter. Behind it, there are many tellers who are handling the various customers that are coming in. But behind them is a long post, almost like a dowel, that all sorts of various birds are standing upon. And you watch as one of the tellers ties a parcel to one of the birds, says something to him. The bird lifts off out of an opening in the roof that's just above all of these roosteries, and then immediately another bird magically apparates where the previous bird disappeared.
Delightful.
So why don't you, if you don't have a letter written up, why don't you give me a summary?
I do have a letter written up.
Of course you do. Okay.
It's very short though. Dear Glow, I made it to Farum. I am still exploring the city. It's younger than Coda City. What isn't? But it's so alive, and I love it already. You would too, I think. I haven't done much since I got here, but I rolled in classes, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm getting some hands-on practice, which is really good for me. I like my instructors a lot. My classmates are great. One of them says I'm annoying. And I think that's how she feels about everyone, though. So it's probably fine. And guess what? They give us time off sometimes. I've had more time in taverns than I know what to do with. Don't tell Dad that. But I found fiddle to play here, and that's pretty cool. I've even had some time to help a local physiker with practical healing, and I'm learning a lot about that. You can't tell Dad that part. Miss you so much. Love to everyone. In the clear light of knowledge. Tam.
Roll me a deception. You've asked for this, so
Yep.
it is there.
6.
Okay. That may have consequences later.
Excellent.
Do me a
Love
favor
that.
and send me a copy of that letter.
Sure will.
All right.
Oh, and he's also going to send, he got her a bottle of something. He got her something from that first place, the bag, the something bag, Griffin's
The
bag.
Griffin's bag.
Um, and I think he had gotten her a present there,
Sure.
I believe.
Do you remember what it was?
I think it was like an eye. It was like an eye suspended inside. It was like
Yeah,
it
I
was like,
believe you're right. It
yeah,
was the
it
Eye
was
of a
like
Lich.
the eye of a lich. Yeah.
Awful. All right. Yes, you send her an Eye of a Lich along with the post. To send the package, it's going to cost you about 5 silver.
Okay.
Make a note of that. Okay. The visit to the post and parcel done. Is there anything else you'd like to have done during this week and a half?
I don't think there's not. They don't have to like be played out as scenes or anything, but he definitely wants to like make friends with Sigona and just like hang out. Like she's the one that I think he's like vibed with the most, and so he would hang out with her after classes are over if she's got time. Oh, and also maybe there is actually one other thing. He would want to check out Calliope gave him that map
Yes.
to something with a treasure or something, and I think he would go check that out and maybe go with Sigona to do that, to be like, hey, look, maybe a treasure.
Okay. Hold on a moment, please. I'm being blown up. As I know you said we didn't have to play it out, but to investigate that map, you are going to have to play that out. So,
Oh yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
as you and Sigona are looking at the map, and you are in East Park in Ferrum. It is in the evening after classes. It's about 4 in the early evening. As you are kind of walking around East Park and you're trying to familiarize yourself with the map, roll me a survival.
Okie doke. Five.
That good, huh? All right.
That's great.
You and
One
Sigona,
totally knows where he's going.
yeah. You and Sigona are kind of milling around in East Park. There are lots of people out here. And East Park itself is full of trees. It is as though a section of the forest was encapsulated within Ferrum, and then they just kind of built a wall on the far side of it and left it as it was. So
Right.
the section of East Park is very natural and untouched, which is great when it comes to having a section of nature within the town. But when it comes to actually navigating it, it's not convenient. There's no roads, there's no pathways. There's kind of commonly treaded ground, but it is constantly strewn about with leaves and pine boughs, and there are also many campsites of adventurers. And as you and Sigona are kind of walking around, and Sigona's basically just kind of chattering, you know, there's been an awful lot of trouble about devils lately. Have you heard anything about that?
Devils?
Yeah.
Really?
Aye.
Where? Is it like in class somehow?
Well, there's been students that have been getting in trouble with devils. Like,
What?
I
Possessions?
nothing like that as far as I know, but saying the wrong names, getting devils interested in them, and then we have to come into class, and then, of course, Treat has to do a protection to get the devil off their
man,
back.
who says the name of the devil? That's no. That's no. They didn't train that person right.
Well, in the
Not a cleric, right?
no, never a no, but usually they find it in a book or in not a great place, so they read it off, and then there's a devil now stuck to them, as they were. You know,
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't think they
Or
mean to,
people.
but
No.
it is very obnoxious to sometimes have willy-nilly warlocks and fighters and paladins come strewing in, just making a mess of things.
Oh my gosh.
The first time you watch it, it's very useful to know how to perform the ceremony. But after that, it's like, okay, you guys, come on.
You're interrupting class.
Exactly. You think they're adventurers or something, not paying attention to what they're doing.
Well, hopefully they're at least learning better the first time. It's not a mistake you want to repeat.
No, absolutely not. Once you have a devil on your back once, I mean, I hardly expect you want to get it happen again. Especially when they're doing all those weird hallucinations and shit.
Yeah, that sounds not fun for anybody
No,
involved.
not fun. Also, where the fuck are we? You're all like in the middle of the park, and you're pretty sure you're nowhere
Who's
near.
following you? Oh, did you expect me to know where I was going? I was
Yeah, you
following
had the
you.
map. Oh, let me see it. All right, I'm gonna roll a survival for Sagona, which is probably better than yours, because
Probably.
she has a
It,
fucking stellar wisdom.
it would be
Uh,
hard to have it worse than Cam's.
all right, and she's proficient. Sagona rolls a natural 19
Nice. Save us.
for a 25. All right, Sagona says, "You're looking at it upside down."
Oh yeah, I am. Oops. Sorry, it's my bad.
It's this way, you fucking numpty. And she uh, basically immediately starts going southwest of where you were. And now that she seems to have the right heading, it only takes about 10 minutes of meandering through East Park to get to a spot where it looks as though there are 3 trees. Each of them is a pine, but they're very closely grown together, almost as if the trunks are bound.
Okay.
Roll me a D100.
Okie doke. 54.
You spot toward the base of one of the trunks of trees a very short but noticeable strand of music notes.
I gotta check that out. I'm like immediately looking up all up in that. That's amazing.
Okay, you get down close and look at it.
Are they
As-
notes I recognize? Is
Uh,
it a tune?
let me ask you, what is your charisma score?
It is not a. Let's see. It is a 18.
You've been studying pretty well in Tally's classroom. She's been going over all the various instruments that are available to the bards here at the Merigard Academy, and one of the lessons that she taught you recently was the sort of instruments you might use at a larger inn or tavern in order to sway a group of people. But these are notes that you would have recognized from elsewhere as well.
Ooh.
These are the sort of notes that are strung together, that are played on an instrument like an organ
Ooh.
or a calliope.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, it just checks out. That checks out. As he's gonna like grin and go like, "Oh, Calliope! Oh, I love it." Yeah. Can he hum the whatever the tune is?
Sure. Roll me a performance.
Yeah. Okay. 20, natural 20 for 26.
With a natural 20, as you begin to hum it, you and Sagona both notice the roots of the nearest tree slowly begin to shift. And as you do, you suddenly see they've revealed a leather pouch.
Oh. What do you think that is?
I don't know, you
think
better
the-
fucking take it.
Lost Calliope, though? Is it ours? I guess she gave us a map to it. Okay, he's gonna take it, see what it is.
You look inside. There is 3 things in the bag. There is a small instrument that is wrapped up in vellum, but you can see glinting outside of the vellum is hints of gold. You see that there is a small amount of coinage in the bag, and you see there is a potion.
I don't know if this belongs to the little girl, though. Well, can I look at the instrument? Can I get a better look at the instrument?
Yeah. You unwrap the vellum, and it seems it doesn't weigh nearly as much as you think it would, despite the fact that it looks like it's made of gold and silver trimmings. It is a harmonica.
A harmonica. I'm just gonna like look over left and right. Can I play it a little bit?
Yeah. The instant you begin to play it, you feel the tingling of potential magic in the weave around you. This is a magical instrument.
Oh. I mean, that's rad. Let's see. I have detect magic, I think. It's been a minute. Yeah, I do. I do have detect magic. I'm gonna just chill and spend, what is it, 10 minutes? I think it's 10 minutes. 11 minutes. Playing this thing and detecting magic.
Are you identifying it or detecting magic?
Oh no, you're right. This is not identify. I don't have identify. I only have detect magic. So I know it's magical. I guess detect magic would at least give me the school of magic. Like I know it's magical and I would know
yeah.
Like, a tiny bit.
It is.
But I don't.
It is transmutation.
Ooh.
It is. Cool. The harmonica looks pristinely clean. You notice that there are small arcane runes inscribed on the front end of the harmonica, and if you speak Sylvan, you recognize them as Sylvan runes, which generally tells you that they are the sort of language that creates delicate and influential magical items.
Ooh. Well, I unfortunately do not speak Sylvan. I speak Elvish. But...
Sure. Well, you recognize the lettering.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Well, man, Calliope did give me this map for this.
Who is Calliope? So you've said that name a few times.
I ran into this little girl. My first time doing a free agency. We were doing this like stakeout. Before the stakeout, Skulna and I ran into this little girl, and she's deaf, and she couldn't. But like I kind of managed to sort of sing for her anyway, because she said her name was Calliope, and I know a fiddle tune about that. So I did that for her, and then she smiled and was happy, and then she gave me this map to this place. So I think maybe she wants me to have this. But also, if it's her stuff, I don't want to take it. What do you think I should do?
Well, she told you where it was, so I imagine she probably wanted you to have it. That's as a true. Thank you from what you said.
That's true. I told her everyone deserves music. I guess, I mean, she could play this. She wouldn't be able to hear it, though.
Well, if she's deaf, she wants you to have it, wouldn't you think? If you say everyone deserves magic, and so she gives you a magical instrument, that seems fitting to me.
Yeah, music. I said music. But yeah, okay. And there's gold in here too, or is it just gold edged? Is the thing?
Oh, there's coin in the bag as well. You look inside it. There's about 25 gold in the bag.
Wow. Okay, that's rad. And 25 gold, the harmonica, and what was a potion?
A potion.
Can I look at the potion?
Yeah. You smell it. You kind of get the wafting notes of. You almost feel like you could change the outcome of something, and you believe this is a potion of luck.
That's rad.
Which basically you drink it and you have advantage on all rolls for 1 minute.
Oh, that's very cool. Wow. Okay, well, thanks, Calliope. Maybe I'll run into her again. I'll be able to say thank you. I better
keep an eye out for her.
I better learn how to play real well on this so I can kind of give her a little buzzy. She can't really hear, but I kind of use thaumaturgy so she could kind of like feel the vibrations of it. I bet that would be really cool on the harmonica.
You could always.
Wow, I got it.
You could always, see how it plays for you now. You haven't really touched the thing.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. All right, I'll try it. I'll play a song.
Okay.
Play harmonica.
This harmonica has a remarkably deep and warm timbre to it. It's a very, very pleasant sounding harmonica. It's not so buzzing and annoying as many smaller harmonicas seems to be. And the song that you play, it's almost as if you're playing it by second nature. And do you imagine any song that you play out of this harmonica to cast a spell will likely be a little bit more potent, a little bit harder to resist?
Ooh, that's fun. That's fun. Thanks, Calliope. So, hey, you're my adventuring partner in this.
I sure
So
am.
I think you should have some of this gold.
I think I should too.
Yes. How much of the gold do you want?
I think half is fair.
Yeah, I'll give you half of it.
The harmonica won't do me any good, but the gold, absolutely.
The gold will. I mean, you got us here. So you deserve it. And good adventurers split up their treasure.
Absolutely. It's the first rule of adventuring.
Yeah.
Actually, the first rule of adventuring is don't split the party, but that's pretty close.
Also, don't die.
Hey, those things happen. So you give her 12 gold?
Yes.
Okay. So you have looked into Calliope's map, and as such, you have found Calliope's treasure.
Yay! Thanks, Calliope. What a great treasure.
So, now, we jump forward a little bit.
Yes.
It is the morning, and as you head into the class, heading into the Bard's classroom, you see everyone back to work as they usually are.
Guidance for my friend.
Thank you. As always. I'm getting better.
Far. I can hear it.
Yeah.
And he does play a very proficient string and chord after you guidance him. But before you actually take your seat to begin to practice as you normally would, Tally says, Tam! I have a task for you.
What's the task?
You remember Glass of the Griffin's Bag, right?
I do, yeah.
Well,
I'm an assistant.
You did. However, this time, he requires your personal assistance. Down at the Griffin's Bag, I think you're going to be venturing out into the forest.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
Aye.
I'm about it.
So, I recommend you stop by Persh and grab yourself a companion.
Okay. Can I go with Sagona?
If she's available, she might be on a task.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
It's worth asking.
Okay.
But
I will go.
Off with you.
Anything else I need to know?
I don't know. Talk to Persh about it.
Oh, by the way, I found a treasure. Look, I found a magic harmonica.
Did you?
Yeah.
Let me see it. Yes.
Yeah.
You hand her the harmonica?
Yeah, hand it over. Let her look at it.
She looks at it. She plays a few notes on it. She kind of looks at the different lettering on it and everything, and she says, well, this is a work of art, this is.
Isn't it beautiful?
Well, wherever you found it, well done.
Yeah, friend, I helped out a friend. She gave it to me.
Well, should we all be so blessed as to have friends like that?
Right?
Gorgeous. At this point, you do know it is a +1 musical instrument. It just grants you +1 to your spell attacks and an additional +1 to your saving throws. Or rather, to your spell DC that opponents have to make saving throws for.
Oh, wow. But only if I play on this instrument.
Only if you cast a spell using the instrument, yes.
Gotcha.
Still useful, but, you know, it is what it is.
That's super, super useful. I love it.
All right. As she hands it back to you, she says, I admit I'm a little jealous. I mean, me and the old shamisen go way back, and it's got its own tricks to it, so... Still, it's a nice harmonica.
It's a pretty nice harmonica. It's. I mean, there is that bow, though. And I'm gonna get that magic bill someday. I'm getting close. I'm saving up.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks. Okay, I'm gonna go do this task now. Maybe they'll pay me. It'll be great.
Maybe. Have a good time.
Bye. Skitter, skitter, skitter.
Okay, as you leave the room, the sounds of practice vanishing behind you, you arrive in front of Persh at the front desk, he looks up at you and he says, "Good morning, Tom.
Hi, Persh.
How
I
may I
have an
help you?
assignment. I have an assignment to go into the woods. But
Ah,
I gotta talk to Glass from the Griffin's Bag first.
right. You're on free agency today. Okay. What did Tally tell you?
She said I had to talk to Glass and was going into the woods and didn't tell me much else. She said I would get a companion. I don't know if Sakona's available. That would be fun. We're friends. But if she's not, anybody else is also fine.
I will take a look.
Roll me a D4.
Okay. Two.
As he's looking at the ledger, he says, "I am afraid Miss Sagona Rowe is on free agency herself today.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
I'm sure she'll be fine.
Great help to whoever she's helping.
Let's see who else we can find to aid you." And he looks at the ledger. Roll me a D10.
D10. Oh, that's a D8. Seven.
Hold on. Okay. Persh picks up the wooden box, picks up the blue stone from it. He puts it to his mouth and he says, "Oi, Widget, would you happen to have... Yeah. One... Tam. Aye. Alright, send her down." And he sets the stone down. He says, "I have a partner for you. She'll be down in just a moment."
Okay. You don't happen to know anything else about this mission, do you?
Right. Well, from what I understand, Glass has heard of some... There's a temple out in the Olin Woods. It was prominent hundreds of years ago, back when there was a village out there. But the temple is in ruins. But Glass has heard there's a reliquary in there that he'd like to retrieve. So you're going to be going to collect something from a temple in the Olin Woods.
Okay. A reliquary. That's fun.
It might be what's in the reliquary he cares about. I don't really know. It'll make more sense.
I'll ask it. Oh, hey, did you check out that treasure lead we found like a week ago?
That is in the works. We've had scouts out within the last day. We're working on it.
Exciting. Well, you let me know. You let me and Sagona know if there's anything we can help handle.
Oh, don't you worry. I remembered.
I appreciate it.
As he says that, and as you say that, you hear footsteps coming from down the hall, and you see a dark elf approaching. She has long white hair. A wide strand of it hangs over the side of her face, but most of it is pulled up into a tight bun on the back of her head. And she wears these almost form-fitted, what looks like a fighting robe or fighting clothes. They look like leathers that have been tucked and padded in different ways to make very well protection. But it has a semblance of tailoring to it, as almost maybe a noble's fighting clothes. And as she appears, this is what she looks like. Persh looks up and says, "Right, Tonus, this is Tam. Tam Tonus Shile."
I'll talk to her in Elvish because I can speak it, and I'll tell her hello. Good to work with her.
The dark elf looks at you and she says, "Hello, it is a pleasure to work with you as well. What is the plan?"
Do you know the Griffin's Bag or Glass? The person that runs that place?
I have visited the Griffin's Bag for supplies many times.
My first free agency was there. He wants us to check out something in the Olin Woods, to Ruin Temple. so we can find a reliquary there. But I don't know any more information than that. We gotta talk to him first.
Then we should make haste, shouldn't we?
Yes.
And then,
Thanks, Krish.
in common, she turns to Persh and says, "Thank you, Persh. I look forward to seeing you again." And not waiting for you, Tanis walks out the door, and Persh just kind of tips his spectacles and goes back to working at his parchments.
Okay. Tam will give him a little salute and hurry out the door after Thomas.
Okay. You find yourself back out in the city proper, having just left the Merryguard. And as you're walking, Tanis moves with very much a sense of propriety. It kind of reminds you of noble folk you would have seen around Coda City,
Sure.
but it's different. It's almost as though it's the sort of walk someone of authority carries while they're in a place that doesn't have authority, like the sort of like a cop walking through downtown, that sort of thing.
I gotcha.
But as she's walking and you do scurry up next to her, before you can say anything, she says, "I have heard of you."
Oh yeah? All good, I hope.
Nothing bad, I would say. I've heard your name milled about in the mess hall. That you're very high energy. You have quite a bit to say.
Yeah, I mostly do. I like talking to people.
She looks at you, and it is a little unsettling because as a drow, her eyes are red.
Mine are also red, actually.
Well, then maybe it's not so unsettling. As she looks at you, she says, "Interesting. Where are you from, Tam?"
Coda City?
"Ah, the elf capital of the world, they call it."
They do. I imagine you're not from there?
No, I'm from Sithicus.
Do I know where that is?
It's kind of like, yeah, you know where it is. It's an exotic city. It hangs upside down from Undertow on the floating continent.
That's cool. Are there lots of elves there too? Do I know that?
You know that it is mostly populated by dark elves, Duragar, and Drider.
Gotcha.
Dark elves are commonplace, but they are also kind of known as like the hobnobs of the place. So, if Tanis is not nobility, she's likely close to it, from your surmise.
Okay. Well, Tam has very little sense of propriety in this sense, so
Sure.
I think his eyes will just light up and he'll be like, "The city that's upside down?"
That's the one.
Oh, wow. I have so many questions. How do you, like, walk on stuff without falling off? Do you always have, like, a spell up or something? Or is it all just right side up to you?
Well, you may have a misconception as to upside down. Where you have buildings here that are attached at the bottom, the buildings there are attached at the top.
That's terrifying, though. What happens if they, like, fall off? Does that ever happen?
It has happened, but only as a cause of sabotage. From my experience, no building has ever just decided to let go. When there have been accidents, engineers were sued.
It makes sense. But wait. Okay, so the buildings are attached to the top. So you just walk normally?
Mm-hmm. The
But then
Skywalk,
what
the
if-
massive road that runs throughout my hometown, hangs by spiderwebs and massive pillars. It's a beautiful sight.
Spider webs.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds beautiful. I want to see that. That sounds really pretty. You got pictures somewhere? Can you like make an image of it?
Oh, I'm sure this is something I could manage. And she pulls from her bag a sheet of parchment, and you see that as she holds it out in front of you, she tweaks a ring on her finger. And almost as if a light is turned on, the picture is suddenly filled with the images of Sithicus. A city that hangs upside down over miles of ocean. A skywalk, which is a massive highway lined with green moss that glows in the dark. The entire town is almost in perpetual nighttime, as the suns are constantly shaded by the massive continent that floats above. It seems beautiful and green and glowing and uncanny.
Tam has just fully stopped walking and is just like admiring and oohing and ahhing over these pictures and enthusing about how much he would like to see this in person and how great it looks and etc etc. When I'm an adventurer, I'm going to go there and it sounds great.
I hope you do. It's a beautiful town.
You want to see? I can't. What did you just do there? By the way, are
Oh,
you an artist?
I am.
All that really fast?
I'm an artificer. I can infuse magic into objects, and I simply remembered what Sithicus looked like and imposed it upon this parchment.
Wow. Well, I can't really do that. I can only do this kind of thing. And so he's going to make a little minor image of like a little bit of probably it'll be like his home temple, his like
Sure.
Magos temple back home in Coda City.
Which is still a beautiful place.
Beautiful and old.
Yes. Lots of blue. As you give this display of an illusion, Tanis seems to smile graciously, and she says, "That is no small trick. It's nothing I can do. It is beautiful."
I guess our magic is just different, huh?
Mine is in what I create. Yours is in the webs you weave with song and story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know some folks around here like that. They got different kind of magic from mine. But it's real good though. It's real useful.
I have all sorts of tricks that I hope I don't have to use for what we're about to do. But if I do, we will see what comes of it.
Pretty cool how the weave works differently for different people.
Agreed.
And how the stuff that you build is kind of like the stuff that I weave is kind of like the stuff that the clerics use to call down divine. It's like it's all the same thing, but different, and I like it.
It's a very refreshing way to look at things.
Well, you know, Tally says that a lot of things are connected. And so I think she's smart, and I think that's right. And I think that maybe if a lot of songs and stories can be connected, it seems like magic is too.
Well,
At
of
least from
course
what I
it
can
is.
tell.
It's all connected through the weave. It's just how we interact with the weave that is important.
I think maybe we forget that sometimes.
I
It's one
don't.
thing to know it intellectually, but it's another thing to like work on it and understand how things work together. That's something I want to work on, I think.
Then you should do that.
Mm-hmm.
As you have been walking, I do need you to roll me a d8.
Yes. Random encounter, come to me. Three.
You do not have a random encounter. Such as it is. Instead, you make your way down through the Farum Market, being called by the various vendors and salesmen, everyone trying to offer you all sorts of velvets and silks and foods and weapons and magic items and trinkets and bobs. It's always almost a sensory overload. Tanis...
Is it at all possible for me to do, like, I know I don't have good perception. Can I do, like, a perception check? Because I think, honestly, anytime he's in the city, he's going to do a perception check for that merchant, even though he's not even close to where they were last time, just to kind of, like, see if he can see him, like, he's still there. If I can see him, if he's there anywhere, that's good news. He hasn't sold the thing.
Sure, roll a perception check. Now, if you'll recall, you spotted him down toward the docks.
Yeah, I am fully aware, but you know how, like, it's like that thing when you're sort of like you think that the thing might be around the corner and you know it's not, but like you're not sure anyway and you're kind of on edge about it. That's kind of how Tim feels.
Sure. This is the building that you're heading toward, if you see my ping.
Yes.
You are moving by the docks, but not necessarily through them. So with a 13, you unfortunately do not see that specific salesman, because
Okay,
there
that's
are
fair.
many. As you arrive at the Griffin's Bag, you see that it is just as busy as always. And when you go inside, there are just shelves and stacks and papers and components and items and weapons and cloaks and vestments, all sorts of crazy, overwhelming amounts of magical items. And as you enter, you see that Glass, this almost gray and white-haired tabaxi, is behind the counter. He looks up at you as the two of you enter, and he says, hello. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Hi, Glass. Is Turst around?
He's in the back, handling some reagents.
Has he been good worker?
He certainly has. Everyone's been
I'm glad
calling
to
him
hear it.
Little Fellow. He seems to like it.
I'm glad to hear it. He has a lot of spirit, that guy.
Yes, he does. And as you approach, he stops shouting and he says, I see the two of you are maybe here for your free agency.
We sure are.
Perfect. Kaiden! And he calls to one of the other employees and he says, I need you to watch over the desk. I am going out for the day. And the employee nods, and you see this maybe 20-year-old human man steps behind the counter as Glass puts his own apron away. And he's like, let's go outside, shall we? It'll be easier to talk.
Okay.
He gathers up a pack and follows you out into the street. And as you
Are you
stand...
coming with us?
I
Are you showing us where this thing is?
I want it myself. I just need an escort, which is what you are here for.
Oh, I gotcha.
This is not the sort of thing I would leave in just the hands of anyone, you know. I want to get it myself.
Oh, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what you want. What is it that's so special about this place and this thing that you're looking for?
Well, what do you know of Tysus?
What do I know of? Is Tysus
Roll me
a god?
roll me a religion check. Yeah, he's a
Okay.
god.
Let's see. Maybe one day Tam will not totally fail his religion check. Let's see if this is that day. If I can even find a religion. Nope.
With a 10, you know the basic stuff. Tysus is one of the most prominent gods of death and is known for shepherding souls to the afterlife.
Okay.
That's what you know with a 10, and not much else.
Afterlife god, right? The shepherd of souls. That's pretty much the extent of my knowledge.
That is what is on the wrapper, yes. Tysus, one of the oldest gods, he is magnificent and one very near and dear to the hearts of those who practice magic of the astral variety. Do you know why? And before any other moment, Taunus says, because he resides in the astral sea. And Glass says, very good. Yes, I see you are familiar. Well, there was a village here, in the Allen Woods, known as the Village in the Mist. Unfortunately, it fell long ago. When the gods vanished, so did the village, as it was so bound with their holy word. It was almost a source of pilgrimage for many of the Gold Marchers. This is not the case anymore, as the village is decrepit and crushed. But there was a temple there, one to Tysus, and they would say it was one of the few places miracles could be witnessed on the daily. And that is where we will be going. I hear there may still be a reliquary with one of his last scrolls within.
Oh. And are you a follower of Tysus yourself?
As any magical practitioner, either it's Magos or it's Tysus. In this case, for me, it is Tysus. I'm sure there are others. Maybe Dio, maybe
the more elemental chaos of Nier, those sorts of gods, but for me, the astral has always been the most fascinating.
Well, I'm glad. We're gonna go. We'll go find it for you.
Yes, perfect. I knew you'd be good company. I asked for you specifically.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And you, I do not believe we've met.
And Tana says, I have been in your store many times. And Glass says, oh,
My apologies for not recognizing your face. I am
Glass. And Tana says, you are Glass on the mountain.
Candle.
I know. Yes. Glass on the candle. Glass says,
I am make a fool of myself. It is a pleasure to be reacquainted with you.
Tana says, thank you. Shall we get going? And
Yeah, let's.
Glass leads the way out of the Heather Garden Gate, which is the nearest one, and you delve into the Allen Woods.
Amazing. I imagine I have not been there yet.
No. So the Allen Woods is almost it's a warm weather forest. Deciduous trees densely pack it, and it makes it very hard to see very deep into the Allen Woods. But the smells of rich sap and undergrowth is very thick here, and it makes it feel very peaceful, despite the almost claustrophobic closeness of the various trees. It's very much the idea of, like, the British wilderness.
I gotcha.
I
don't imagine Coda City, it's like an elf city, but I don't imagine there's a lot of woods. It's still pretty much a city, right?
There are, but it's much more open.
Yeah, it's not like this.
Yes. Coda Sea is all very sparse old growth that is basically untouched, with lots of room in between them for frolicking.
This is less frolicsome. I don't know if Tam would like it as much.
It's
a little unfair.
Yeah, it's you don't really see very well, very deep into these woods. And you can almost feel, with your affinity for magic as a bard, you can almost feel the tingling of Fey magic just everywhere here.
Interesting.
But again, it's not unpleasant. And as the breeze passes through the trees and you're making your way through the Allen Wood, you're going to be traveling for a bit of a ways until you get to where you're going. And so, I'd like you to roll me a d8.
Okie doke. Five.
Roll me a d100, please.
Heck yeah.
It's happened. 35. Okay.
Up until this point, Tam is also chattering and wanting to know more about this god, and wanting to know more about the floating city, and just generally making conversation and incapable of silence, etc.
Sure. I think you will probably find that Glass is absolutely willing to chatter with you, and Tanis is more paying attention to what's going on around you. She doesn't seem annoyed, but she definitely doesn't seem like she's paying attention. As you're making your way, you see there are suddenly a group of people. You can hear them before you see them walking through the woods, and you hear one of them is kind of grunting and groaning with hints of pain. And when you look, you see that there's a group of 3 individuals who are heading in the direction of Ferrum, and one of them is bleeding from the shoulder.
Oh no. How far away are they from us?
About 60 feet. They don't seem to have noticed you, and they seem to be moving. They're trying to hurry, although the one needs help moving.
Oh no. Oh guys, can we pause a second? I'll be right back.
Yes, that is fine.
And Tanis follows you.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna run up to the guy that's bleeding. Oh, friend, do you need help?
Hold it! Hold it! Who are you? The one who's holding him is a tall, half-elf man who's got his arm underneath him, and in his other hand is a short sword. And the one behind him says, "Oh, yes, please help if you can." And the one who's hurt
Yeah.
says, "Yeah, I'll take whatever you got."
What happened, friend?
We were... And the
I'm
one
gonna
behind
cast
him... You're gonna cast
Cure
what?
wounds.
Okay.
I cure wounds as this happens.
The one behind him says, "We were hunting, and our friend here missed his shot." And you see that the one in front, like, looks back at him, and then looks at you.
Oh, like missed his shot, as in like he hit the other one.
Aye.
Like this. Oh. I'm so sorry. Here. Let me stop the bleeding. And so Tam, as a cleric initiate, can cast Cure Wounds for free once a day.
Okay, you're gonna spend it here?
So he'll do that here.
Alright, roll it.
And it won't be as good as the charisma, like, because he only has a +2. But he heals for 5 points.
Okay. The wound scabs over. You can see that the cloth of his jerkin kind of sticks to his skin as it heals up, and he says, "Oh, thank you kindly." Oh,
Sure thing. I didn't want to just let you be in pain.
it's still tender, but that's much better. And the one in front says, "Aye, that was much faster than those down at the Temple of Paris would have done. Would have asked too many questions." And the one in the back says, "Really, that was so kind of you."
Oh, sure. I mean, I know how to do it, so I figured I would help.
"Well, thank you. That makes this trek back much more pleasant." And the
Sure
one who was
thing.
injured says, "Aye, I'd agree," as he takes his arm back from the one who was carrying him.
So, are you hunters?
"Aye."
Oh, except for you hunted each other by accident.
"It wasn't on purpose, I imagine." He, like, looks at the one who shot him with a frown.
Insight check.
Yeah, roll insight
Actually,
check.
no. Honestly, Tam doesn't. I kid. Tam does not do that. He's not smart enough to do that, I don't think.
All right. Then, to the best of your knowledge, these are hunters.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, these are hunters. And they bear no ill will towards each other. But yeah, I don't know if he would ask for anything. I think, all right. Oh, you stay safe now.
We're heading out of this forest quick as we can. We don't need any more hunting accidents," he says.
Oh, actually, did you know of anything? Is there anything in the forest? You were here just recently. We're just heading into it. Is there anything we should be aware of?
The one in front says, "The bears have been out about, so maybe be careful."
Bears have been out. Okay, that's good to know. Anything else?
And he just kind of shrugs and shakes his head.
Okay. Well, you stay safe. You get that arm looked at. You might want to look at go to the physiker about it, okay? Make sure it's all healed up.
"Physiker?"
Yeah, if you said it was still tender, just in case.
"All right. Thanks for the advice."
He's a nice guy, and he's real honest.
All right. We'll be sure to look into it."
Okay, you tell him I sent you. My name is Tam.
"Tam."
Hmm?
Right. And they kind of nod and thank you. And they go on past you.
Right, I'll trek on back to the rest of the group. Sorry. I hope we didn't slow down too much. I think it was important we do that.
Once they've kind of left the area, Taunus says, I wonder who shot them."
Oh, they said that they kind of shot each other by accident.
"Tam, they didn't have a bow."
Oh. They didn't?
"No. Unless you saw and I didn't."
I wasn't looking.
"No, they definitely did not have a bow."
So somebody shot them. I wonder why.
"Well,
Maybe our Physica friend will find out more.
Maybe. He's real smart.
Tanis will kind of look at you and kind of gives you an appraising look. She doesn't really say anything.
Do I notice that she's giving me an appraising look?
Roll an insight check.
Okay. This I care about. Ooh, natural 20.
Yeah, she is kind of looking at you. She's not sure if you just didn't care, or if you weren't paying attention, or you just took what they said at face value.
Look. I was trained to help people when they needed it. And I'm kind of more into the helping part than the asking questions part.
That's
And
fair.
That's probably a flaw of mine. It probably would have been different if I noticed they didn't have a bow. But I don't know. Even if they were ruffians of some sort, I was
Perhaps.
in pain.
Perhaps.
Now he's not.
While we're out here, we should maybe look to see if there's someone that shot at them that needs help.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. We should. And we should look out for bears, too, they said.
I suspect that was a throwaway. Bears are not really out this season, are they?
I don't know.
You can
But-
roll. You can roll a nature check.
Oh,
This is that I'm prompting you for rolls. That's what's going on.
okay, gotcha. Bears aren't really out this season, are they? Do I know that? Probably not. With my plus... Oh, actually, 17.
With a 17, yeah, bears wouldn't really be out and about
God.
right now.
Damn, you idiot. Love this for him, honestly. Love this for him. This is very on brand.
Just took their story on face value, and then it's like, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that actually doesn't make any sense, does it? Huh. Well, not much we can do about that, I guess.
It's no trouble. I'm not in the habit of chasing down people who've lied to me.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if there's somebody that shot someone, if it's someone that shot them, we can figure out about it, and we'll know to be quiet and stuff.
Yes. Do you know if your Physica takes down information when he helps people?
I would know that, right?
You
Doesn't
would,
it?
and he
Zurich-
does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's real thorough.
Perfect. Then if they do go to the Physica, we might, if we find anything maybe damning, be able to refer them to the guards.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Let's keep an eye out.
We will. Yeah.
And behind you, Glass says,
This has all been very educational, but
Sorry,
That's-
Glass. Yeah, we're on task. Sorry.
no
My
problem.
fault.
No. I understand the need to help those in trouble. It's just we have a schedule. You know how it is.
We have. Yes, you're complete. You're totally right. We're at your service. Sorry.
There's no way. Walk and talk.
okay, so you resume moving out into the Allen Woods. That was your first 2 hours. That was your encounter for on your way out. Go ahead and roll me another D8.
Oh my gosh. So exciting.
A 7.
Seven.
Roll D100. A 3.
Could be a good divine intervention roll.
It would be, yeah. Too bad you're a bard. As you are
Yeah.
walking through the trees, you see that there is a clearing up ahead. In the clearing, you see there is a multicolored purple, black, white, blue, yellow tent. Seated in front of the tent is a kind of, maybe looks like she's in her 40s or 50s woman sitting crisscross applesauce in front of a deck of cards. And as she sees you, she says, "Oh, hello. May I interest you travelers in a fortune? Just a silver."
gonna look up at Glass. Do you have a schedule?
We do have a schedule, but if this tickles your fancy, we can take a moment.
Are you sure?
Yes, if your eyes got any bigger, I would just fall apart.
It's Glass. Yeah, he'll totally hand over Silver.
Ah, what is your name?
My name's Temerity Goldhorn.
Temerity
Ding dong,
Goldhorn. Who goes by Tam? Yes, perfect. 1 silver. Let's see. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Ooh. Tarot cards. 46.
Okay. Roll me a D4.
1.
The woman flips over cards, and as she does, she begins to speak, and she says,
Gold, silver, copper, never in the opposite order. Spill forth a dram for the lost. Make merry in the name who pay the highest price. You must seek the leaf that grows not on any tree.
A leaf that grows not on any tree? What kind of leaf is that?
I don't know, is what the card says.
Tree. A leaf that grows. A leaf that doesn't. Like a gold leaf, maybe?
Perhaps. It could be. Now, your second card.
and she flips
Oh,
it
I
over.
get more than one?
Of course you do. It's a fortune. And she sets it down in front of you, and she says,
Seek the Sphinx of Black Courts to judge thy song.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I do like singing, so I know part of it. I think.
Well, perhaps this applies to you where it could not apply to anyone else. Next, the final card.
and I need you to roll me another D100.
What was the second thing she said? The black horse. This.
Oh, seek the black sphinx to judge thy song.
Oh, speak the black. Ooh.
The
black
the black court sphinx.
Sphinx. Tam, by the way, is very superstitious and will absolutely take all of this seriously.
Oh boy.
I'm so sorry.
No worries.
But it's an 18.
18. Okay.
Cloak in the water. The man is crying. Let the leaf falls and everything will be fine. For one wish to make, more wishes will crumble, but never. Do not trust the song of the birds. You must find the woman who grants them their songs. I don't know what that means either.
Oh, I think I did that already, actually.
Oh? You found the woman who grants birds their songs?
Oh, well, metaphorically, I have a teacher, and she's real smart, and she's kind of like teaching me to be a better bird.
No. This is speaking of your future. This is
Oh.
speaking of what you will do, not what you have done.
I gotta find a woman.
Who
That-
grants birds their songs.
Huh. Well, that sounds like a good quest to give a bard. Okay. I'll look for birdsong lady. And seek out a sphinx. And a leaf that doesn't grow on a tree. Or is that my past? Did I do that already?
No, these are all your future.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I got some tasks to do, huh?
I would say so.
And she looks up at
Oh.
Tanis and says, "Would you like your fortune read as well?" And Tanis says,
Cam is gonna nod emphatically.
Tanis
at her.
says,
No, I appreciate the offer, but we have much to do. But
Okay.
I thank you. And the fortune teller says, I hope to see you again. And she kind
Thank you.
of piles up the cards back in front of her.
Thank you for the fortune.
You're welcome.
Bye.
And as you keep moving, Glass says, was that a good time?
Yes.
Did you
I have a
learn
lot
anything?
of quests now.
I
I learned that I gotta find a leaf that doesn't grow on a tree, and I have to find a black quartz sphinx that'll judge my song, and I gotta not trust the birds, and find the woman that grants the birds the song of the birds.
It sounds
Lots of
more like a
song-related.
laundry list than it does quests to do, but maybe there's more to it than meets the eye.
A song can be a quest.
You are right. I wouldn't know. I'm no minstrel. Anyway, let's keep moving, shall we? Go ahead and roll me
He's gonna
another
play a
D8.
jaunty. He'll play a jaunty tune on the harmonica because he's happy
It is beautiful.
while they walk.
And without even rolling, it rings well in the forest. The acoustics here seem to welcome the music that comes from your instrument.
Ooh, I love that. That's a 4.
As you were walking through the forest and you were playing music on the harmonica, you don't notice because your passive perception is not great. However, Tanis suddenly holds up a hand and she says, "Wait. Stop." And she
He
points
stopped playing.
around the forest and she says, "Do you not notice the forest has changed?"
No. Has it changed?
She points out to you and she says, "These trees, they're decorated. This is intentional. This is not the way it was
Oh.
before.
Huh. Should we go another way?
I fear we may have strolled into the territory of a dryad. And yes, we should try and quietly back away without attracting their attention."
Okay.
Roll stealth.
Awesome. This will go so well.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Terrible things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
Oh,
There's no
boy.
way.
As you see Glass, you turn around to try and back away, and you see Glass turn away from you and puts a hand on a tree and starts to slowly walk forward. Next to you, you see Tanis crouched down, and as she touches her boots, this thin, almost misty fog of darkness comes out of her shoes, making her footsteps almost completely silent. And then you take a step, and a twig breaks extremely loudly. And she looks at you and
Fabulous.
what did I just... And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
as you're saying "I'm sorry," suddenly from the left side of your view, a beautiful elven woman's face comes into view. And she reaches out, and she just kind of touches you on the shoulder, and she says, "I'd like to talk with you." And as she touches you on the shoulder, you are not where you were a moment before. You suddenly find yourself astride a very thick branch, and you are suspended maybe 30 feet off the ground. Next to you on the branch is this elven woman,
Oh no.
and she's looking at you, and she says, "You seem awfully nice."
I like to think so. Can we be down on the ground again, please?
Maybe in a minute, but first, I wanted to talk to you about that beautiful music you were playing before.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I mean, it was mostly the harmonica. I got it. It's new and I like it. But yeah, I like to play. Wait, can we be on the ground again, though?
In a minute. First, you must promise me you'll play me another song.
Okay,
Please?
One song and then the ground. I've got work I have to do.
One song.
Okay. And he'll play, I guess on the harmonica. But it is an Irish tune that I'm thinking of. There is a song called the Fairy's Hornpipe that I think would be appropriate here.
Yeah, that fits pretty well. All right. As you begin to play, go ahead and roll me performance.
I'm playing on the harmonica, so I'm adding one. 21.
Yeah, 21. That's great. As you are playing, you can't miss it, but you hear the footsteps of Tanis and Glass running up on the ground below. It doesn't seem like she actually took you very far. And as you're playing, this elven woman is just kind of bobbling back and forth to the rhythm, seemingly very happy about it. And you hear from below you Glass say, There's he. Oh, quiet. And he says that to Tanis as they have arrived at the tree you've been apprehended to. As you play the song, finally at the end of it, you see this elven woman is smiling at you with wide, happy eyes, and she says, "Don't you think you could play for me one more time? You don't ever have to stop." And that is when I need a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Okay, it's a +2 in wisdom. This is gonna be fine. Oh, 15?
Yeah, the DC was 13.
Oh, thank God.
You managed to push away the undeniably alluring pull of this beautiful elven woman. She fails the charm. And she knows she fails the charm, and you see her pout, and she says, "Okay, I'm just lonely, you know? But thank you for your music."
Is there a chance that I have any other instruments on me right now? Like a penny whistle or something like that?
It's up to you.
If that's something that might be included in, if that's allowed, if that's like a thing that might be included in my like bard pack, because I'm not gonna just give her my harmonica, but I will give her a penny whistle.
Yeah, it's
and
fine.
Say, you can learn to play it yourself, you know.
It's not the song that's so important to me, it's the company. But she takes the penny whistle, and she kind of twists it between her fingers, and she says, "I thank you for this gift." And she touches you, and then suddenly your feet are back on solid ground as you are stepping out of an oak tree. And you see 60 feet away, looking up at the branch that you were just on, are Tanis and Glass, who are reeling as you've suddenly vanished.
Okay, I'm here. Bye. I'll wave up at her and then.
Well, no, she's next to you.
Oh, she's next to me now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'll see you again.
Hey, you learned that song, okay?
Mm-hmm. She seems very sad.
Oh, but wait, what's your name, though?
She looks at you and she says, "Loriander."
Tam. Loriander. You know, people are more likely to be your friend if you don't make them be.
They can never stay.
Maybe they can say sometimes, just not forever.
She just kind of nods, still looking sad, and walks into the tree. And then she's gone.
No. Poor Dryad.
Yep.
I'm glad I've passed my wisdom saving throw, but
yep.
Poor Dryad.
Yeah. As you successfully do not become permanently infatuated with the Dryad, you head toward your party, who are now, they've spotted you and they're running toward you. And as they arrive, Glass says, Are you all right?
I'm okay. Whatever thing she tried on me didn't work, but I think it was maybe close.
Thank the gods for that. Maybe. Yes, let's get moving. We should have paid attention. I knew these were Feywoods.
And he and Tanis immediately are like running to get out of the Dryad circle. And it is definable, now that you know what to look for. The Dryad's territory is very much ornamented. It's tended to, it's beautiful, but it is purposely designed. It's like somebody's home. So you basically walked into her living room.
Okay, that also tracks.
It does. All right. Roll me one more d8.
Sorry.
No worries. Take your time.
8.
Roll me a d100. You're going to roll an encounter every single time.
72.
72. Oh, that's a 12.
Oh no, I don't know why I said I misread my dice. 12.
You see that as you are walking after another hour or two, you're making your way through the woods and you come across a well-speckled and beautifully groomed horse with an ornate saddle, and it is bridled up to a tree. What do you do? Do you ignore it?
What do I do? There is a horse. It's bridled up to a tree. Oh, that's weird. Is someone else here? You think? Oh, maybe maybe the guy that maybe shot those guys?
It could be. Do we want to take a look around? I'd really like to keep moving.
What do you think, Glass? We can keep moving.
I
Let me
would.
let me
Okay.
let me look. Let me take one look. Let me just take one look.
All right, but make it quick.
You want to come help me? You want to come help me? I know your name. I know her name. I know her name. Tanis.
I would be happy to.
Go ahead and roll investigation with advantage.
Can I maybe give her advantage?
Sure. Okay. She rolled a 16.
Okay.
As you and her kind of approach the horse, look around the area, and begin to do almost like concentric circles as you're looking around, you see tracks that show signs of a person heading off toward the east.
Not in the direction we're going,
No.
I imagine.
No, it is not.
The horse looks okay. The horse looks well tended to. It doesn't buck or run away from us or anything.
No, nothing like that.
Okay. Well, that's a trail I'd kind of like to follow, but we got to get your thing, right? We're working for you.
Yes.
So, yeah. We'll leave it. We can come back to it, maybe.
I would really like to get to this place before sun's down.
Let's come back to it.
All right. Let's hope nothing bad has happened here, and we will keep moving.
Yes.
All right. You proceed on past the horse. It is another 3 hours, and it is getting into evening when finally you approach the ruins of an old village. What is left of these structures is little more than stone foundations that stick up and out of the ground. It is foggy now, as it's getting cooler in the evening and the air has settled. And as it is growing cooler, it is also beginning to rain as you're looking around here. As you approach the village and you're kind of passing through the foundations of destroyed structures, you see that Glass is looking around and he's getting excited. He says,
We are finally here. This is where the village of the mist was.
Do you feel anything?
I feel lots of mist, obviously.
But I mean, connection to your god. Do you feel anything divine?
Oh, this would be the time. Let me pray.
and he sits down near one of the ruins, puts his pack on the ground, and you see he closes his eyes and he concentrates, almost in a meditative pose. Next to you, Tanis says,
I do hope this will be as beneficial for him as he hopes. I'd
I
hate
hope
for
so
this
too.
to be disappointing.
Well, even if it's not beneficial, he'll at least have peace of mind knowing that the thing he wanted wasn't there. He won't have to just torture himself thinking about whether or not it's there.
You speak as though from experience.
Yeah. I maybe know something about wanting a thing and not doing it.
Why don't you tell me about it? Well, we have a minute. I find you very curious, Tam.
I?
You speak as though someone interested in everything. But then, as this topic comes up, you suddenly close off. And that is more intriguing to me than anything else you've said.
What topic? The divine stuff?
Mm-hmm.
My parents want me to be cleric.
And you don't want that?
Well, not really. I like music. I like being a bard.
I understand.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really do.
Did your parents not want you to be an artificer?
They didn't want me to come to the Marigot, that's for sure. They wanted to marry me off to another family as part of the family heritage and acquire them new resources and lands just for the family name.
They wanted to make you an object? Like a token?
It's
For somebody else?
It's exactly as you say.
Well, that's not fair. I'm glad you're here instead.
As am I.
I think
You see she
the
kind of
problem...
is looking over at Glass and then back at you.
The problem?
I think the problem with Legacy is that everyone is so concerned about their own that they forget that other people are their own people and they want their own things to happen. And maybe they don't want to be in your legacy. Maybe they just want to have their own thing that they do.
Very eloquently put.
And as this moment you see Glass stands up and he says,
I did not hear anything, but I could feel he was here. We are in the right place.
I'm glad.
Follow
Where
me.
do you want to...
We must find the temple ruins.
Okay. You want to lead the way, or should we look together?
Let's split up a little bit. This is a big place.
No. I think we shouldn't do that. I think we should all stay together.
Okay. All right, then we'll start on the left side over here and make our way around.
That's good. Let's do that.
roll investigation. As
Get a
will
guidance
Tanis and as will Glass.
I'm gonna guidance myself for this. Ooh, that's not bad actually. 21 with my guidance.
Yeah, that's pretty good. As you are looking around in these ruins, you see that there are signs of just huge amounts of weathering, of rainfall, of water erosion. What once was likely wooden furniture has long turned to debris and rubbish. With your 21, you do catch. Maybe things have moved here more recently.
Ooh.
Maybe some things have been disturbed. This bench doesn't look as though it's quite in a position that makes sense. It looks like somebody uprighted it and then sat on it. This stone structure looks like it's more recently fell than anything else. Those sorts of things.
I think maybe somebody was here.
As you
Is there
say
a way
that-
to like follow? Okay, no, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, as you say that, I'd like you to roll me a perception check real quick.
Ooh. I'm just destined to never do well at those. 7.
That's not so great.
Tam is not observant.
As you say that, the rain is picking up a little bit. And Glass looks at you and he says,
Why do you think that?
Well, see, like, this bench looks like it was knocked over and then picked back up, and then there's that structure that doesn't look like it was ruined a whole long ago. I think maybe the guy that shot our other guys is here. Maybe not. This is pretty deep in the forest. But I don't know. I don't think we're alone here.
All right, let's be careful as we look around.
and it is at that moment, I'm afraid, that
Oh, no.
something attacks you, Tam.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
As you're near one of these fallen stone structures, hold on. Please roll. Thank you. Does a 16 hit you?
It sure does.
Okay. Hold on. You feel a horrible clawing sensation run up the back of your leg. It hurts. It feels sharp and cold. And with it, as the laceration finishes, you feel more and more coldness clawing up the muscle of your leg as you take 5 points of piercing damage.
That's my health.
But you
Almost.
also have your strength reduced by 2.
Oh shit.
As that happens, I'm going to place you on the map. Whoa, hold on. This map is absolutely enormous. Let me change the... Nope. Hold on. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to roll a strength check.
It's
I was
okay.
trying to figure out how to change my strength. I think I have to actually modify that.
Here we go. So just for position's sake, you're here. Taunus is pretty close to you, but it was in another structure. And Glass... What the heck? Was across the small pathway that divides this fallen ruin. And as you realize you're being attacked, you whip around and you see there is a shadow crawling out from beneath stone, and it is clawing at you.
We're under attack.
You are under attack. And as that happens, I'm going to need you to roll me some initiative.
Yep. I'm on it. Did that go through? That might not have gone through. Okay, it did. Good. 17.
Okay. Hold on, let me roll everybody else.
Oh, that's so many dice.
As these shadows suddenly make themselves visible, Glass is going to go first as he says, "Oh no, get back, Tam!" And he will reach into his pouch, and from it he withdraws a wand. And as he raises it, several small darts of pure magical energy across the air and into the shadow that slashed at you as he casts Magic Missile. Let's see how he rolls for it. He rolled pretty good, so that's 14 points of damage with that Magic Missile to the shadow. You feel suddenly the shadow's claws are ripped away from you as the shadow is knocked back by each blast of the magic darts. It is now your turn as Glass has run over toward you. What do you do? One moment, please. So, what do you do on your turn?
Oh man. Oof. I mean, I think Tam is just gonna kind of lash out at the shadow that hurt him with his rapier, probably. because that's like the first weapon he's got on hand. He's
Sure.
just gonna slash at it.
Go ahead.
Oh, natural 20. Heck yeah.
With a crunchy crit. Go ahead and roll damage. You deal 6 plus 8. You deal 14 points of damage with your stab. You slash at it viciously. Why don't you describe your critical hit?
Oh, I mean, I think that Tam, cause he's like all immediately not looking good, and he's panicked, but I think also focused by the pain, and so he grabs the. Has he been also practicing with the rapier with his with the bard class? Are they doing?
Yeah,
doing that?
you are proficient with the rapier. You know how to fight with it.
So I think he has it's like almost a dance move. I think he just kind of like spins around like almost in a pirouette and just like slashes down.
The rapier's blade cuts cleanly through the shadow, and you watch as the strange ephemeral essence of the shadow splits apart, and you just hear this as the shadow is immediately dissipated from existence. That shadow is destroyed.
Excellent. We got company, guys. Ow.
As you say that, Glass next to you says,
There should not be undead here. This is hallowed ground.
That's your turn. It's now a shadow's turn. A shadow emerges from underneath one of the ruins underneath Taunus and attacks her. It rolls pretty well. However, you see Taunus suddenly react with... she raises up her hands, and a massive, like a ring, drops, and a metal shield just on the ground in front of her. She casts Shield. And the shadow's attack scrapes off the shield harmlessly. And she says,
They're going to have to do better than that.
That's that shadow's turn, as it was defeated in its attack. Another shadow appears. This one behind Glass as he was running towards you, and it's going to attack Glass. It hits with a dirty 20. As it slashes up at Glass, you see the tendrils of magic necrotic energy slash up at Glass's back, and you see him go, "Ah! You!" Whoa. He is drained for a little bit of strength, unfortunately. Okay. Glass takes a good amount of damage. He's looking a little bit over half.
Okay.
And now it is Taunus's turn. Taunus is going to reach into her pocket, and she pulls out a lump of what looks like maybe it's coal or stone. It's black. And as she drops it, she waves her hand around it, and the stone suddenly hurtles toward this shadow as she casts Catapult.
Nice.
This shadow is going to have to make a dexterity saving throw. They're not great at this. They rolled a 4. This shadow gets slammed by a onyx stone from Taunus as the catapult lands soundly right on the creature's chest. Woo! She rolled really well. She deals 23 points of damage to the shadow. The shadow is immediately destroyed.
Amazing.
All right. It's now Glass's turn. He is hurting, but he sees that you are also hurting, and he is going to reach onto his belt, and he pulls out a scimitar, which he is going to run around Taunus and slash at the shadow with it. He hits with a 17. And he slashes at the shadow for 6 points of slashing damage. Nothing to sneeze at. And now it is your turn.
Can I get around the shadow over here to flank it?
Oh, yeah. This is all within
I'm
15 feet.
It is all within 50 feet. Right, great. I'm gonna do that. Before I take my hit, I'm gonna say, "You got this, Glass." And to play a little trill on my harmonica and give him bardic inspiration.
Okay, noted.
And then I will slash with my rapier. Where'd my rapier go? That's spells. I need actions. Nope, 12.
12 hits.
Ooh, hey!
You do also have advantage because you flanked.
Oh, right, because that was literally the whole point of my doing that.
Go ahead and roll damage again in case you... it's not... it's worse, in fact. But, you deal 6 points of piercing damage to the shadow. All right. This shadow, recoiling in pain from your attack, it rears back towards you, and you just hear this ghastly... It didn't like that very much.
Okay.
It is now the shadow's turn. It's going to whip towards you and slash at you.
Okay, please don't kill me, Shadow.
It's going to try. It rolled a natural 1.
Okay, good.
So what happens here is, as the shadow slashes towards you, it is twisting its body around too far, as it was originally slashing at Taunus, and its body just cannot quite turn all the way. And as it slashes at you, it just slashes into the stone with a it is completely ineffective. It's now Taunus' turn. Taunus looks down at this shadow that is pitifully between you and her, and she will raise her hand, and as she does, she twists the bracer on her fitted tunic. And as she does, a ray of cold energy out of her hand to the shadow. Unfortunately, shadows are resistant to cold. She doesn't know that. She's still going to try. She rolled a 9. She misses. So a ray of cold energy just freezes the stonework around the shadow. Ineffectual. Glass's turn. Glass is going to run... Well, he's not going to move at all because he's flanking it with you. He will slash at it with his scimitar again, which he will probably use that bardic because he's not... Well, he's got advantage. Maybe. We'll see. He rolled a 14, which does hit, so he does not need to use the bardic. The scimitar cleaves through the flesh of the shadow, ending its existence on this plane. And as that happens, Glass looks up at you and he says,
I don't understand. Why were they here? This was supposed to be hallowed ground. Oh, this does not make me feel confident.
Maybe is the hallowedness... Maybe it's not hallowed anymore. Maybe it's been broken or desecrated.
I hate that thought. Oh, okay. Let's see if we can find the temple. Maybe we can find out what did this.
Can we maybe breathe? I'm really hurting.
Yes, of course. Let's take a minute.
So you can go ahead and take a short rest. While you're taking a short rest, there is a chance for more encounter. Now, we are nearing the end of our time slot. So, at this short rest, I'd like you to roll me a d8.
Okay. No random encounter this time, please. We've done enough of them, please. 7?
That's where we're going to end the session tonight.
Oh no!
But,
so should I hold off on short resting?
Yes, hold off on it for now. But thank you for playing with me. I had a great time, and I look forward to next session. I hope you had fun.
So fun! Oh my god, so fun. Sorry that I was a little bit loopy because it's later for me.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine. I've done a lot of work today too.
Yeah.
But thank you for playing with me, and can't wait till next session.
Oh man, it's going to be a fun, thrilling conclusion. I will be worrying the whole time about whether we have to do that again.
We will find out. All right. Thank you for watching, guys.
Cool.